Adam's fingers trembled as he adjusted the quantum communicator's frequency. 3 months aboard the research vessel Prometheus, and he'd never seen the xenobiology team this agitated. Through the reinforced viewing portal, he watched Elsa, the first extraterrestrial sovereign humanity had ever encountered, pace within her containment habitat, her bioluminescent skin pulsing in patterns that their AI translator struggled to decode. "She's demanding to see you specifically," Dr. Chen said, her voice tight with anxiety. "Not the captain, not the diplomats, you." Adam swallowed hard. He was just a junior xenolinguist, barely 2 years out of the Mars Colony University. "Why me?" "We don't know, but her neural activity readings are spiking. If we don't comply, she might." Chen didn't finish the sentence. They all knew what Elsa was capable of. When her ship had been intercepted near Europa, she disabled an entire defense fleet with a single thought pulse before allowing herself to be captured. The habitat's airlock hissed open. Adam stepped through, his exosuit's biosensors immediately adjusting to the nitrogen-heavy atmosphere Elsa required. She stood at the far end of the chamber, her 7-foot frame composed of something that resembled both crystal and flesh, a being whose biology defied Earth's evolutionary paradigms. She turned, and her 3 vertical eyes focused on him with an intensity that made his breath catch. When she spoke, her words bypassed sound entirely, appearing directly in his consciousness through a mechanism humanity still couldn't explain. Adam Chen Rodriguez, born Earth year 2297, specialist in xenosemiotic patterns, son of Maria Rodriguez, deceased 2319, survivor of the Phobos station disaster. Her mental voice was neither male nor female, but carried the weight of geological ages. "You are the one who deciphered my ship's warning beacon." Adam nodded slowly. 6 weeks ago, he'd been the first to crack the mathematical poetry embedded in the alien vessel's distress signal, a feat that had earned him a commendation and apparently Elsa's attention. "I did, Your Majesty." He used the honorific the diplomatic corps had assigned her, though he suspected human titles meant nothing to her species. Elsa's bioluminescence flared crimson, bathing the habitat in angry light. "Majesty, Queen, Sovereign, your words are infant babble." She moved closer, and Adam fought the urge to retreat. "I am not your ruler, human. I am a warning bearer, a sentinel, and your species has made a catastrophic error." "I don't understand." "Silence." The command was absolute. Adam's vocal cords froze mid-breath. "For 3 of your months I have been patient. I have answered your questions, submitted to your examinations, allowed your primitive instruments to probe my biology. I did this because I believed you were merely ignorant, not suicidal." She gestured, and a holographic display materialized in the air between them, not human technology, but something her body generated. Adam saw a star map, but not of any region he recognized. 247 cycles ago by your reckoning, my people discovered a fundamental law of cosmic ecology. Life, true sentient life, is not rare. It is inevitable, and like all inevitable things, it follows patterns. The star map shifted, showing clusters of civilizations rising and falling like breathing organisms. "We are one of the eldest. We have watched 7,000 species achieve spaceflight. Do you know how many still exist?" Adam found his voice returning. "How many?" 42. Elsa's eyes dimmed with something that might have been grief. The rest fell to the silence. The silence. "You would call it dark matter, perhaps, or quantum foam. Human physics lacks the framework." She manipulated the hologram, and Adam saw something that made his blood chill. Vast regions of space where stars simply stopped existing, where causality itself seemed to unravel. It is the universe's immune system. When life becomes too loud, too energetic, too disruptive to the cosmic equilibrium, the silence responds. It erases. Adam's mind raced. "But we've only just reached the outer solar system. We've barely." "You've done far worse." Elsa's fury returned, her skin cycling through colors Adam had no names for. 3 weeks ago, Your Mars Research Directorate activated an experimental quantum entanglement network. They sought to achieve instantaneous communication across interstellar distances. Yes, the QNet project. It was successful. We can now send messages to the Alpha Centauri colony without understanding what you've done. Her mental voice was a thunderclap. Quantum entanglement at that scale is like screaming into the dark. Every use of your QNet sends ripples through dimensions you cannot perceive. You are announcing humanity's location, its energy signature, its very existence to the silence with the volume of a supernova. The habitat seemed to shrink around Adam. That's why you came. Your ship wasn't in distress. You were trying to warn us. Yes. Elsa's bioluminescence softened to a melancholy blue. My people detected your QNet activation from 6,000 light-years away. We dispatched 17 warning bearers to different emerging civilizations who had committed similar errors. I volunteered for Earth because... She paused, and for the first time, Adam sensed something like emotion in her alien presence. Because my own daughter died in the last silence event. She was studying a species not unlike yours, creative, brilliant, reckless. By the time I arrived with the warning, it was too late. 3 billion souls erased from existence as if they had never been. Adam's legs felt weak. He leaned against the habitat wall. How long do we have? The silence moves at the speed of causality itself. When it detected your QNet, the response was instantaneous in universal time, but local spacetime translation. Elsa's expression, alien as it was, somehow conveyed helplessness. 74 days, perhaps less. Can we stop it? Shut down the QNet, would that? No, the word was final. Once the silence is awakened to a civilization's signature, it does not forget. Shutting down the source merely delays the inevitable by weeks, perhaps months. Adam slumped to the floor, his mind struggling to process the death sentence she just pronounced on his entire species. Humanity, 5 billion souls across 3 worlds and countless stations, had less than 3 months to live, and they'd done it to themselves in the name of progress. Why tell me? He finally asked. Why not the politicians, the military commanders, the scientific directors who created the QNet? Elsa moved closer, her massive form somehow seeming gentle now. She extended a crystalline appendage, almost touching Adam's helmet. Because you deciphered my beacon, because in my language, true language, the mathematics of meaning, you saw not just data but intention, empathy, warning. She withdrew her hand, and another hologram appeared, this one showing Earth, Mars, the Belt colonies, all the scattered fragments of human civilization. I brought you here to tell you this, Adam Chen Rodriguez. The silence cannot be stopped, but it can be negotiated with. What? Twice in recorded history, species have survived its approach, not by fighting, that is impossible, not by hiding, that is futile, but by transformation. Elsa's 3 eyes bore into him. The silence erases life that screams into the cosmic dark, but it cannot detect what has become part of the dark itself. I don't understand. My people can offer humanity a chrysalis, a technology that will transform your neural patterns, your very consciousness, into a form that exists partially outside traditional spacetime. You would become like us, beings who walk between dimensions, who cannot be heard by the silence because we are not loud enough to register. Adam's breath caught. That's what you've been offering all this time. Yes, but your leaders reject it. They say it would mean the end of humanity as you know yourselves. That consciousness modification is tantamount to extinction. Elsa's bioluminescence flickered with frustration. They prefer literal extinction to change. But if we only have 74 days? Which is why I summoned you. Elsa leaned down until her alien face was level with his. The transformation requires willing participants, a seed population of at least 10,000 humans, children included, to maintain genetic and cultural diversity. They must choose this willingly, understanding they will become something new, something that survives. Adam's mind whirled. You want me to convince people to undergo alien transformation, to abandon their humanity? I want you to offer them a choice, Elsa said quietly. Between transformation and oblivion, your government has classified my offer as top secret, deemed it a threat to morale. But you, Adam, you understand communication. You understand how to make complex truths comprehensible. She straightened, and suddenly her full majesty was apparent. Not a queen in the political sense, but something far more primal, a mother trying desperately to save children who refuse to leave a burning house. In 60 hours, my ship's repair systems will finish regenerating. I will leave this solar system, taking my chrysalis technology with me. If 10,000 humans volunteer before then, I will transform them, and some fragment of your species will survive the silence. If not, she turned away, looking at the stars beyond the habitat walls. Then I will add Earth to the list of warnings I failed to deliver in time. Adam stood on shaking legs. Outside the habitat, he could see Dr. Chen and the others watching through the viewport, oblivious to what had just transpired. In 74 days, the silence would come, and humanity's only chance at survival required them to stop being human. I'll do it, he whispered. I'll tell them. Elsa's bioluminescence pulsed once, a complex pattern Adam's implant translated as gratitude mixed with sorrow. Then go, warning bearer. You have 60 hours to save 10,000 souls. As Adam walked back through the airlock, his mind was already composing the message he would send, not through official channels, but through the underground networks, the social webs, the places where truth still mattered more than policy. Humanity was about to face its ultimate choice, transform or die. And somehow, a junior xenolinguist had become the messenger of that apocalyptic ultimatum. The airlock sealed behind him with a hiss that sounded like the clock of extinction beginning its countdown.